Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being here, where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. I'm coming to you today fresh out the shower. I teach authentic power and coming into ourselves and being our true selves and monetizing our purpose in the world and healing radically from trauma, PTSD, CPTSD. Understanding our spiritual purpose on the planet and the spiritual war that's going on with narcissists right now. And so I like to come in on natural. I appreciate you allowing me and to do that, because it keeps this passionate in my life. You know, it means I don't have to be so fussy about how I look to come and show up for you. And when a message comes through me, I'm ready to share it immediately because I get downloads. I'm a channel, which just means that I'm very in sync intuitively. I've got psychic abilities. I'm very intuitive, which means that when a message comes through me, it needs to be said. And if I sit on it and wait, it won't come out in the same way. So I want to talk about how the narcissist gaslights you, right? Which goes on all the time. Look, the fundamental thing, what is gaslighting? The thing you need to know is it's when someone denies your reality, right? And it often, well, always will be invalidating your emotions and feelings. Think about it. Your emotions and feelings make up your entire reality. So when someone invalidates how you feel about something, right, and tells you shouldn't feel that way, or I'm going to get into other things they do in the gaslighting, you know, pretending things didn't happen because they're distorting your reality. But when, even with your feelings, like that is your experience. I could go and watch a movie and feel inspired. You could go and watch the same movie and feel sad. And I haven't got the right to say to you, you shouldn't feel sad about that. You know, it triggered you in a different way. It activated you in a different way. It's your reality. You did feel sad. I did feel inspired. It's two different experiences. But if someone invalidates your feelings, they're invalidating your whole reality. Don't stand for it. So they deny your whole reality. So the easiest way they'll gaslight you is blatant lies. That didn't happen. I didn't do that. You got it wrong. You're too sensitive. That was the past. Let it go. Even though a narcissist would bring up things you did 10 years ago and bring that into a conversation about something you're holding them accountable for now, as if that's an excuse, like you did this to me, so I did that. You go round in circles. It's a merry-go-round, right? So they could outright deny it. They will often throw it back at you. Well, you're not perfect. I've had that from narcissists. Think of all the good I do. Yeah. And when you're bringing up something to someone, you're not denying they do some good things, but think of all the good I do is basically don't mention anything that I need, you know, that if I'm crossing your boundaries, I'm crossing your values, don't mention anything that I need to improve. You should just focus on the good things I do and allow the abuse, allow the terrible behavior, right? Because in these relationships, the behavior tends to get worse as it goes along. And it's like, you're not, you know, if you're having a healthy conversation, you're not denying. You can start a conversation, you know, with, I appreciate you and I want this relationship to work. But I've noticed that you keep, I don't know, you keep interrupting me when I'm trying to speak to you and trying to get you to understand something. You're not listening to my point of view. What I want is for us to have a good conversation and try and understand each other. I want us to get on. I want a relationship. That's what we do with a healthy person. We'd have a healthy conversation. But as soon as you bring up a problem to a narcissist, they will somehow either deny it, throw it back at you, gaslight you into thinking it didn't happen, or that you're basically, the other thing this is so juicy, right? The thing that you really want to know is part of the gaslighting experience is that they are basically telling you your emotions are inappropriate. And that's just not true. It's just not true. So emotions are not rational, but they're still real. They're what we feel in a situation. They are not rational, but they are still real. My emotions, you can write this in the comments, my emotions are not rational, but they're very real. Us refusing to self-partner, which is what I teach in my program Sovereign, you've got to come in this month. It's less than half price, guys. It's such a great community. We've got a Q&A on Saturday. Please jump in now, because I'm not going to keep the price down. I'm not going to keep it down. It's going to keep going up. I've put it to less than half price. Anyway, so when we feel like we shouldn't be feeling a certain way, we're fighting with ourselves. We're not self-partnering, right? Because how you feel is how you feel. Now, that doesn't mean you get to take it out on other people. Emotions are messengers. Like if I'm angry, I'm obviously crossing my own boundaries or someone else's, you know, or my values. You know, emotions have got a message to them. right? And sometimes they haven't. Sometimes there's nothing for you to know about it, but most of the time there's some message in the emotion that you don't get to ignore. So many people want to just stuff down their emotions, not feel their emotions, and not listen to the message, which doesn't work. Like, we want to, especially if you've been trained as a chronic people pleaser, like I was by narcissists, we want to just be as adaptable as possible to other people if we've got that problem going on with the people pleasing. And the thing with that is that we're denying our own reality constantly. That we might be so numbed out by that stage that we don't even know what our wants and needs are. So in what I teach, authenticity is being true to who you are and what you want and need. And sometimes I have to do a bit of work with clients on getting them into their authentic self so they can actually get back in touch with their bodies and their true wants and needs, because they've been trained by narcissists, like I was, not to have any wants and needs. You know, people would say to you, what movie do you want to watch? I'd be like, I don't mind, whatever one you do. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. I wouldn't even allow myself to get into desire. Now, where that's a massive problem is if you want to manifest your best life, and I teach manifestation in Sovereign, and I've got a membership for $55 a month that is about manifestation. But if you want to manifest your best life, you've got to be in touch with desire. That's how you manifest, getting in touch with your heart again. So heart healing is a big part of Sovereign, and so is like manifestation. So you get in touch with what you really want. You've been trained by narcissists not to. So they bring up the past. They bring up, it says, if you bring up something from now, they might bring up something that you did wrong in the past and use that as like, well, you're not perfect either, you did this. They'll never, ever, ever take accountability for who they are and what they do. They won't take accountability. You can't make a narcissist take accountability for what they've done. They will never, ever, ever like do it. They will use sorry as a last resort often. They won't apologize up front, very rarely, but they might just say they're sorry to try and, as a last resort, if you really won't let it go. So you're not going to get anywhere. So what I teach my clients is not to justify or validate themselves, right? When they're speaking from their heart and when they're talking about their needs and their boundaries and their wants and desires, right? Stop validating. You don't have to validate. You don't have to justify it. It's what you want. It's what you feel like. It's how you're feeling, right? You get to feel how you feel, and that gets to be respected and honored, right? Because if we don't respect and honor how we feel, we're not respecting and honoring ourselves, and we are an energetic match in the universe to more abuse and more narcissism. When we respect and honor ourselves, we're not, right? So I matter. What I feel matters, right? Emotions are not rational. So it's like a lot of us spend too much time trying to find out why we feel the way we feel, than self-partnering and actually allowing our feelings to guide us for now, right? Doesn't mean you don't work on stuff. I might be triggered, for example, if my partner talks about his ex a lot. Yeah? But instead of starting with, why do I feel that way? Well, because I was cheated on in the past and I've been through bad relationships. I've got to honour how I feel now. I've got to say, look, darling, I want this relationship to work, but I'm noticing that I get very triggered when you talk about your ex. And I know I've got a bit of healing to do myself on trust issues, but I would really appreciate it if you would not mention her to me again, because it's actually in the place I'm at right now, I'm not healed enough to be able to listen to that. And it's not good for me. It's triggering me, right? You get to honor how you feel and tell people about it. Yeah. And like, you don't have, you get to have healthy relationships wherever you are in your healing journey. You just got to be in relationships with people that can hold space for where you are. And when you explain to them if things are really getting to you or triggering you, that are prepared to adapt to that and take accountability and responsibility for their actions, as well as you taking responsibility for your own healing, sure, and growth. I want to grow. I want to be able to trust again, but it's going to be a step-by-step process. So right now, I'd appreciate you didn't mention your ex. Things like that, right? Join Sovereign if you can. You have to email me to get the discount. It's not on the website. The website is the full price. If you want to pay full price, love it. But I've got discounts. I'm doing a special on one-on-one. It's half price, right, for one-on-one coaching. And you can come into a 45-minute session right now for $45. 55. I've never done anything like that. It's a lot more than that normally, right, to come in and have a session with me. But I'm just so juiced up and letting more people into my world. When you experience my work, you're going to get more abundance, you're going to get more activated, you're going to come into yourself. Sorry if I'm speaking fast, but this message just came through and I was like, okay, I've got it. So I hope you like the video. Please keep liking, subscribing and sharing. I don't know much about YouTube yet, but I do know that like the likes make a big difference. So if you like anything about my messages, please remember to hit that button, because I think it really does help get the message out to more people, right? And my other work out. Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.